Linebacker Jonathan Vilma, thanks for coming back. Stephen A., what do you need to see from the Saints-Rams game?
Well, I need to see two things from the New Orleans Saints, Jonathan. Number one, I need them to shut up about last year. It's over. There's nothing you can do about it. It's the sport of football. I need to be careful because there's very few people that I admire more than Drew Brees. I got a lot of love for that brother. You understand? I'm really talking about Sean Payton, even though he didn't say much yet this week about it. But the way he made an absolute spectacle of himself in the aftermath of all of that, dragging on for months at a time and, going at the league office and all of this other stuff. Mistakes happen, that's number one. Number two, why did it come down to that? You were on your home turf in the Super Bowl. What the hell did you do needing to come back in the waning minutes on your home turf with a Super Bowl berth on the line? Maybe if you had handled your business and had to lead instead of operating from a deficit, the pass interference that never was by Roby Coleman wouldn't have mattered that much. And why do I bring that up now? Because we just saw Monday night. I recall the Houston Texans going up 27-21. I recall Deshaun Watson, connecting first with Michael Thomas. Then after that, 37 yards with Kenny Stills, who just got there, by the way, from Houston for a touchdown to take a lead. And once again, you need the 40-year-old Drew Brees to come to the rescue. All this damn talent. Michael Thomas got a $20 million a year, okay? Take Alvin Kamara, we know what he could do, all right? You got Jared Cook up in there. You got Ted Ginn. You got Sean Payton, who's supposed to be boy genius, as a head coach on the offensive side of the ball. And somehow, some way, here we come, needing the heroics of Drew Brees at the last minute yet again. Can I get some defense, New Orleans? Can I get somebody to put the clamps on an opposing offense so we're not looking at the 40-year-old Drew Brees who's been looking to retire for the last couple of years? Or he just wants the Super Bowl. If Drew Brees had a Super Bowl last year, he wouldn't be here right now, I believe. If he had a Super Bowl 2 years ago, he wouldn't be here right now, I believe. I think he would have been done. He's playing because he wants another chip and he knows he has a shot. And damn it, Sean Payton and his defense continue to lean on his senior citizen self in football ballers to come to the rescue. Go ahead, Jonathan.
No, it's Max's turn.
Go ahead, Max. I'm sorry.
I'm going to enjoy this.
I'm just saying. I mean, come on. He's 40 years old.
We good with the delay?
Yeah.
Hey,
Go ahead, Max.
Look, I totally agree with you about Sean Payton, especially since it was a terrible missed call. Everyone knows it. But how come Sean Payton, no one ever brings up the missed call on the other end of the field that benefited the Saints? Like, what do they talk? Yes, this was even a higher leverage moment. That was also a bad missed call and a very high leverage moment. Just shut up about it already. I totally agree with you about that. What I am looking for in this game is Todd Gurley. Before Saquon Barkley, took the world by storm. You look at the upper echelon running backs in football. Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, and because Elliott was in a better situation, he was oftentimes compared favorably to Todd Gurley earlier in their careers, a couple years ago. You can look at McCaffrey, you can look at Kamara, all these guys. To my mind, when everyone's perfectly healthy, there's Saquon and then there's Gurley. Like if there was no Saquon Barkley, I'd be like, Gurley is really the best overall guy. Guys, Gurley hasn't looked the same now in a minute. And I know they're trying to manage his workload and all those things, and whether they say it's because of the present or into the future because they have him locked up long term to with a big guaranteed money. If Gurley is not that same elite dynamic back who can be your bell cow and also catch passes out of the backfield, do all the things that he's done just about as well as you can do them, then this offense is not quite the same. Like, let's not forget Aaron Donald, everybody on the defense, I get it, but early last season, we were like, the Rams are a little different than everyone else. It was that unbelievable dynamic offense. Gurley is a huge part of that. That's what I'm looking for. Are the Rams still the Rams? I want to see if Todd Gurley's still Todd Gurley.
Okay. I agree with you, Max. In the NFL right now, so it is no wonder that you can rely on him because the defense may or may not show up, because that's frankly discrediting Deshaun Watson and how good he's been as a quarterback when he's healthy. Now, going to this game, Saints versus Rams, The biggest thing that we need to worry about are not the quarterbacks, not Todd Gurley, is who is going to replace Ndamukong Suh on that defensive line for the Rams, because he's the reason that the Saints couldn't run the ball last year in the NFC Championship game. He's the reason that Aaron Donald was able to get off and create havoc and get 2.5 tackles for loss and sacks, etc. He's the reason that Aaron Donald would see one-on-one coverage, because if you had 2 linemen on Aaron Donald, it left 1 on Ndamukong Suh, and that's a mismatch. I don't know who that guy is going to be up front for the Rams. And if that guy isn't there, you have Alvin Kamara that's going to get his yards that he didn't get last year. Then you have Michael Thomas, who's going to figure out a way to get open against Aqib Talib in the play-action pass. If that happens, you're looking at a Saints victory, and it's not even going to be close, to be quite honest with you. It's not going to be close.
All right, let me address, Jonathan, what you just pointed out. First of all, I'm not letting you get away with those slick comments you just dropped in there. You ain't getting away with that not on this show. Listen, don't try to interpret my words as being disrespectful to Drew Brees. Drew Brees is a bad brother. I love Drew Brees, one of the elite quarterbacks this game has ever seen. I'm not saying anything negative about Drew Brees. What I'm saying is, damn, he's 40. It's football, for crying out. Can somebody else step up and relieve this brother? Why is he always having to come to the rescue for the Saints in games that count down the wire? How come y'all can't stop anybody? That's what I'm talking about, Jonathan. So, and you know that's what I'm talking about.
Is Deshaun Watson not one of the best young quarterbacks?
Brother. He's a bad brother.
Is DeAndre Hopkins not one of the best wide receivers in the game?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Yes, he is.
All right.
And by the way, even with Lamar Miller down, what they got from Duke Johnson and other candidate running back spot is impressive. I get it. Or was it just that they were playing the Saints, who religiously have problems year after year after year defensively? And you know what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about when you were there winning a Super Bowl in 2009. I'm talking about since. It's been a decade, damn it. This defense repeatedly, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they haven't had good defenses. I'm saying, damn, every time a game counts, don't you find it, Jonathan, Max, don't y'all find it a tad bit odd that every time there's a big game that comes with New Orleans, somehow, some way, Drew Brees has to drive you down the field in a deficit because the defense couldn't hold. That's my point. Could you do something?
Well, except that one of the things that
off the 40-year-old dude?
One of the things that that distinguished the Saints for me last season from some of the other high-powered offenses like the Chiefs, for instance, was the Saints were good against the run. For a dynamic offense, I actually, like the defense was good.
Yeah.
At least certainly against the run. I want to get back to Jonathan's point, though, about Ndamukong Suh. To me, that actually highlights the running backs again. Because on one side of the ball, there's Gurley and what I mentioned. On the other side of the ball, there's Kamara, who without Mark Ingram, it's like, wait, is he now a bell cow kind of back, right? When you talk about the best backs in the league, Saquon, Gurley when he's healthy, Le'Veon Bell when last seen, right, over the course of a season, Ezekiel Elliott, obviously. These guys, you give them the feed them, and they can carry your offense. Kamara without Mark Ingram, it's like, okay, let's see what they do with him. No, he kind of had the same workload. He's not really built that way physically. And so even on the other side of the ball, it's not like, well, not having Ndamukong Suh, now they're more susceptible to Kamara. You can chip him on the line, you can do some things. But I think it really actually highlights the running backs on both sides of the ball. Is Gurley still the dynamic back we've known in the last several years? Can Kamara handle kind of a heavier workload and really enter the discussion among the best backs in the game, like overall, including workload? I don't know. To me, that's what I'm looking for.
Answer it, man.
Well, you have Latavius Murray that's going to help out with the workload for Alvin Kamara. So Alvin Kamara has always been phenomenal at getting about 10 to 15 touches at the running back position, and then 10 to 15 touches as a receiver coming out of the backfield or lining up in the slot, whatever you want to call it. Latavius Murray is now the new Mark Ingram. Is he as good as Mark Ingram? To be determined. We'll see how the stats play out, but that's the guy that's going to handle being that quote-unquote bell cow or avoiding Alvin Kamara being the bell cow. And now talking about the defense for the Saints, how they keep giving it up. Steven.
Yes.
They're playing good teams. They're playing good quarterbacks. They're playing top-notch wide receivers. What do you expect from these games? We're talking about, whoa. We're talking about NFC Championship games, what did you expect the Rams to do? Lay down? You expected Goff to
That
just
is
say,
not
okay,
what I'm
that's not
saying,
going to
bro.
happen?
You know
of
what?
course they're going to fight. Of course they're going to play hard.
This is funny.
No,
Ladies and gentlemen,
you're
ladies and
talking
gentlemen.
about good teams.
Ladies
Every
and
time you
gentlemen,
said there
okay.
are good teams and they
Yeah.
have to come back.
Right.
Drew Brees has to help them out.
That's right.
You need your quarterback to help you out when you play against other really
that's
good
not what I'm
teams.
saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Period.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonathan Vilma and I go back to when this brother was with the Jets crying out loud. We've talked for many years. And there were times where I recall you telling me years ago, at some point in time, it's about the responsibility of that defense. We can't always put a quarterback in a position where he's got to come to the rescue. I'm not talking about doing your job.
Don't bring up stuff from 10 years ago. You're not allowed to bring up those facts from before.
I'm not bringing up stats. That's a good point. I'm only addressing the point of coming to the rescue. I'm not saying nobody has to do a job. Drew Brees is a quarterback. He got to do his job. I'm talking about coming to the rescue. Instead of having a lead, holding on to a lead that he gives you, Sheldon Ranktons and these boys, Lattimore and these cats, you got cats carrying Jordan, you got cats on the defensive side of the ball. Can Drew Brees have a lead and be comfortable with it? Can he sit on the bench with a lead and know that the defense gonna hold?
It's going to happen. It's going to happen Sunday. So now you're basically asking the defense to step up and show up.
How about that?
And they will.
How about that?
And they will. They will.
Because I got news for you.
Yes.
If you don't win, let me say this for the record, Jonathan Vilma. If the New Orleans Saints don't get to the Super Bowl, I promise you, it will not be Drew Brees' fault. He will do his job. And your defense gonna do yours. Period. Period.
Did he get the ball down the field? Did he get the ball down the field in the playoffs when he needed to last year? Drew Brees was looking his age a little bit late in the season. Let's be honest
he got
about
him down
that.
the field. That's where the pass interference didn't get called.
On a bad throw, by
And then
the way.
on Monday night, he needed 35 yards to put them in field goal range. What did he get? 35 yards on 3 receptions. Damn you, the defense, man. Show up, man.